Hi, I'm Ava and will be your guide as we take a look through one of the most iconic films of all time, When Harry Met Sally. The movie follows Harry Burns and Sally Albright over 12 years of chance encounters in New York as two people with completely different views on the love, repeatedly cross paths, moving from strangers to friends to something much more complicated, if you know what I mean. Along the way, their relationship is shaped not just by what they feel, but by what they say and what they don't say. This film offers a perfect lens into organizational behavior topic of communication, from mixed signals to unspoken expectations, timing, and honesty, and emotional expression. Harry and Sally constantly demonstrate how communication can either build connection or completely destroy it. We'll analyze what went wrong and show how better communication could have saved them years of confusion and us, well, a lot of time.
Why can't we get past this? Are we gonna have this hang around forever?
Forever? It just happened.
It's been 3 weeks. You know how a year to a human is like 7 years to a dog?
Yes? Is one of us supposed to be a dog in this scenario?
Yes.
Who is the dog?
You are.
Congratulations, newlyweds. Can you guys tell us about what happened at your wedding?
Well, Harry and Sally were kind of off.
Their communication process was breaking down here, and communication isn't just about talking.
It's a whole process. The sender chooses and encodes a message, picks a channel, then the receiver decodes it and gives feedback.
Harry was the sender. He was trying to ask why Sally was upset, but he encoded his message with sarcasm, calling Sally a dog. So his message sounded way more dismissive and insulting than he probably meant.
Sally decoded that message through the frustration and heard she already felt. Even if Harry thought he was just being funny, Sally heard disrespect.
Right, because the message Harry thinks he's sending did not match the one Sally actually received.
And his shrug makes it even worse. Nonverbal communication like body language and facial expression affects the meaning of the message way more than you think.
The lesson is, no matter if it's a personal conversation or a workplace scenario, you can't assume your message was understood just because you said it.
Harry, what happened after the wedding?
We had a great night, and then in the morning I said maybe it wasn't such a great idea, and then Sally just stopped talking to me completely.
Sally, why didn't you call him back?
Because I was hurt and I didn't know what to say, so I said nothing.
That's silence and nonverbal communication. You didn't use words, but you still sent a message.
Yeah, the message was, I'm upset.
Harry thought she hated him, but that's a selective perspective. He just assumed the worst without actually talking to her.
Sally was filtered. She didn't say how she felt because she wanted to avoid conflict, but that just made things worse. Which is why most problems at work are just communication problems.
What is one lesson from this situation?
Talk to each other.
Don't assume. I have it all figured out. It's an 18-hour trip which breaks down to 6 shifts of 3 hours each, or alternatively we can break it down by mileage. There's a map on the visor that I've marked to show where the locations are so we can change shifts.
Sunflower seed?
No, I don't like to eat between meals.
I'll roll the window down. Why don't you tell me the story of your life?
It seems like their communication style is quite different. While Sally is process-oriented and Harry is idea-oriented, these two still manage to make things work by the end of the movie. We can say that they passed the forming and storming stage. They had open communication, spilling their true thoughts out, and were willing to be vulnerable with each other.
So in the end, Sally and Harry finally communicate openly and clearly, and that's when things start to work. What we've seen is that a lot can get lost through translation, through filtering, selective perception, nonverbal cues, and different communication styles. At the same time, those differences aren't always negative when understood. They can actually strengthen relationships. This directly applies to the workplace, where unclear messages, assumptions, and lack of feedback turn small issues into bigger ones. So the takeaway is don't assume, don't avoid, and don't leave things unsaid. Be clear, check for understanding, and adapt your communication. And that will lead you to here.